welcome to the Sew Essential vlog. I hope you're well. It's November now, and November's a really special month for me because it marks my sewiversary. So last November I shared with you all the things I made in my first year of dressmaking, and in this video I'm going to share with you all of the things I made in my second year of dressmaking. All of the things I made were using patterns and fabrics from our website, and you'll find the link to our website below where the vast majority of these patterns and fabrics are still available. If you want any more detail about the makes that I'm going to talk to you about, there's also a link to our blog below, and there's blog articles on there about each of the garments as well. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is this top that I'm wearing. So I wouldn't normally wear this untucked, but I've done that so you can see and get an idea of the fit and sort of the length. So it comes to about here on me. It's fairly fitted, and it is quick sew 4069. So it's just a very simple turtleneck top in our Isabella wool jersey, which is absolutely beautiful. It's the softest, warmest, loveliest jersey. People go mad for it, and it's available in a range of colours. The pattern was excellent. The only thing I would say is just make the neckband up and try it on before you attach it to the top, because it does come up a little bit big and you might want to adjust that down. But other than that, fantastic pattern, true wardrobe staple. This has had a lot of wear. So next up is Simplicity 1252 in our tartan fabric. So this is a simple 60s shift dress, which I absolutely adore. I love this pattern, can't recommend it highly enough. The fit was excellent straight out of the packet. I cut a straight size 12 and it just fitted really, really well. I love the design. It was really fun working with the tartan, and I lined it in our anti-static polyester lining. I did pattern matching with it, and I just think it's a great pattern. The only sticking point is I cut the hem far too short, and I always feel very self-conscious in this dress. I just think it's a little bit too short, but that was a lesson learned. But that was nothing to do with the pattern. I hacked a load off the bottom, so highly recommend Simplicity 1252. The next things that I made were this Simplicity cami top, which is Simplicity 1366. Really recommend this pattern. I'm just untucking it so you can see what the fit's like. It's quite a loose fit, really easy to fit. It fits straight out of the packet. I made it in our Mystique satin back crepe. I used the matte side, but you can also use the shiny side, and it is available in a really wide range of colours as well. But yeah, I can't recommend this pattern highly enough. I made a video which recorded the making of the top from start to finish, so you can see that on our YouTube channel if you're interested. But another great wardrobe staple that you can make in a whole range of colours and layer with cardigans and all the rest of it. So really love this cami top. And then the other make that I've got on is my Simplicity 2154 vintage inspired pencil skirt. And this pattern sadly has been discontinued now, but I think I've suggested an alternative in the blog post. But it was a really good pattern, really enjoyed making this skirt. I had some issues with the fit, but that was down to sort of inexperience more than anything, because I attached the waistband before I'd fitted it sort of at the hips. So I learnt from that mistake, and know now to get the fit right on the actual skirt before attaching the waistband. I made it in our John Caldor, Ohio cotton sateen fabric. So it's a cotton with a slight stretch, and it's just got like a really nice soft satin finish to it, or sateen finish to it. And that's available in a range of colours and designs as well, and I really highly recommend that. It's gorgeous stuff and really lovely to work with. So the next thing that I made really was the high point of my sewing career so far, I think. It was by far the most challenging thing I've ever made. I learned so much when I made this, and it is Vogue 1428. I was invited to take part in the Vogue Cocktail Hour bloggers tour to raise money for the Eve appeal for women's cancers, and I decided to make Vogue 1428. I made this overlay in a very beautifully soft tulle, and I made the over bodice in the same tulle, and then I made a pencil skirt which is attached to the under and over bodice in our Duchess satin, which comes in a wide range of colours and is the most beautiful satin. It's gorgeous fabric to work with, it's such high quality. And then I made the underbodice in a very lightweight satin back crepe, which I absolutely adore as well. The matte side's got like a slight sheen to it, it's really, really pretty. I machine embroidered motifs onto the over bodice, which you can see here, and also on the back. And then I machine embroidered these freestanding motifs as well. So that was fun learning how to do all of those. I sewed French seams, I bias bound the raw edges with satin bias, I hand sewed the button loops on the back. You know, I really went to town on this one, and I worked really, really hard to make it really special. But what was nice is I just learnt so much along the way, and one of the key learning points with it really was getting the underbodice to fit me, because it had quite big darts on it, and because I'm quite small busted, we did have to work quite hard on the fit of the underbodice. But what was nice about that was I learned that actually you can get things to fit you really, really well and fit you perfectly. And I think that's where really my sort of obsession with fit started with this dress. So after the really sort of complicated project of the Vogue dress, I just wanted to make something really simple and really quick and easy, because I'd spent a long time working on that dress. So I made the Hollyburn skirt by Sewaholic Patterns. It's a really, really lovely pattern. I can't recommend it highly enough. It was so simple to put together. There's quite a few panels to the skirt, and there's pockets here as well. It's just really lovely. The instructions on Sewaholic Patterns are fantastic. They're always really easy to follow, even if you're a beginner. I made it in our cotton lawn, which is really beautiful, super soft, drapey, gorgeous cotton lawn, and then I lined it with our white poly cotton underneath. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with this. I wore it loads throughout the summer. I always feel really nice and feminine in it, and because it's a nice length as well, it's really easy to wear every day, and it would work just as well as a winter skirt as well, in say a black fabric or a darker fabric or a more heavyweight fabric. So yeah, highly recommend the Hollyburn by Sewaholic Patterns. So I really enjoyed making the Hollyburn skirt because I wore it loads in the summer, and I decided to just try and make a lot more really wearable things, and I decided to make Burda 6540, which is actually a slash neck sort of t-shirt dress, and it's not sort of fitted or gathered in at the waist at all. So I hacked the pattern. I brought the neckline, I made the neckline a round neck because I just prefer that on me. I don't think the slash necks really suit me. I brought the shoulders in, and then I decided to sew elastic in at the waist and add a fake drawstring, because I saw a dress on the high street that I really liked and I just wanted to replicate that. So I just made those few sort of adaptations to the Burda pattern, and I think it worked really well. You know, I wore this again loads in the summer. I really enjoyed wearing it. It's our geometric jersey fabric, which has been really, really popular. It's lovely and soft. It's got a nice drape to it. It sewed it really well. It was really easy to work with. So yeah, that was another make that I was really happy with, and I've definitely had a huge amount of wear out of as well. So I was definitely focused on making really wearable garments at this time, but I also do occasionally get to go out, so I decided I wanted to make myself a nice dress for evenings out, and I chose Simplicity 8330, which is a fantastic pattern. And again, this is where my sort of obsession with fit started. After the experience working with Angela making my Vogue cocktail hour dress and getting that underbodice to fit really well, I decided to make this fitted pattern, and I decided to work really hard to get it to fit really well, and I was really, really pleased with the results. I think I got a really good fit on it in the end. It's made in our floral scuba fabric, so I did have to size down quite considerably because obviously there is stretch in the scuba, and the pattern was actually made for woven fabrics. I took I cut a few sizes smaller, and then I ended up taking some off the side seams as well, and taking a bit of the fullness out of the princess seams as well. And then I did alter the side seams on the skirt as well to get a really good fit across here, because I do get a bit of tightness and pulling across my thighs sometimes. I didn't put a zip in the back because I made it in the scuba fabric, so that was unnecessary. I just put a little slit at the back and did the buttons on the collar. But yeah, I really love this dress. The only mistake that I made was I did lower the neckline on it because it was coming up a bit high, but I didn't think about the fact that that then brought the armholes up, and the armholes are too high, so I do need to adjust these and work on that. But other than that, it was a great project. The pattern was fantastic. It was really easy to put together, so I highly recommend that. And I've always loved this beautiful floral scuba, which I believe is still available on the website. The next thing that I made was Vogue 1395, which is a really nice pattern. I've always really liked the look of this pattern. It's one of the Rebecca Taylor designs for Vogue. So there's an overlay which you tie at the front, and then at the back there's some gathers at the back of the neckline on the overlay. Just a nice unusual sort of casual day dress. I made it in our royal blue geometric viscose fabric, which is still available on the website, and it's just so soft. It's so lovely and soft and so drapey and just really beautiful. I did pattern matching, which I was quite pleased with. And I thought the construction of this dress might have been quite difficult because I'd never made an overlay before and I wasn't sure how that would work, but actually it came together really easily. So yeah, it was a good make and I enjoyed working on it. The next thing I made was McCall 7591, which I immediately loved this pattern when it came out. There's maxi versions and to the knee length versions, and there's a racer back option and another option. I just thought it was a really lovely pattern, so I'll just show you the shape of the dress. So I chose to do the version which has got the crossover at the front. It's to the knee, it's got a little slit at the side there, so there's a panel here and a panel here, and it's got the racer back. It's an elasticated waist, so it was really easy to fit there, and I made it in our double georgette fabric with the parrots on, which I just absolutely adored that as soon as I saw it. Just the bright colours, the navy background, it just all calls to me immediately. All of those things do. I lined it with our navy poly cotton, which worked really well actually, and it was just brilliant to wear. I wore it on a holiday recently, a hot holiday, and it was just really nice to wear while in the hot weather. So the only thing I would say about this pattern, it was fantastic and I'm really pleased with the dress, but I did have quite a lot of issues with the fit on the bodice. So I assumed that I didn't need to make a toile, and I cut the relevant size, and it just came up really big. It was really gaping at the sides here, so I just ended up taking quite a lot in off the side seams, which was very easy to do, but unfortunately I'd already understitched the lining and clipped it and graded it, so you know, it was a little bit tricky, but I got there in the end and I persevered, and I'm really pleased with the result. But the pattern itself, you know, the design is fantastic, and all I would say is if you're going to make it, just make a toile first and just check the sizing first. But the fabric's beautiful as well, and yeah, I was just really pleased with this dress. I love it. So the next things that I made, I was focusing on really wearable garments for the winter. We were now coming into winter and I wanted stuff that I'd be able to wear every day. And I'd been looking for a long time for the perfect denim skirt. I wanted something smart and simple that fitted well. And I'd seen a lot of sort of pelmet skirts, I think they refer to them as, on the high street. And I'd had a go last year at making a denim skirt, but it didn't work out that well and I wasn't entirely pleased with it. And then I came across Simplicity 1370 thanks to the lovely Jen of Gingerella J, and she made this skirt and I instantly knew it was just what I'd been looking for. So yeah, it's Simplicity 1370. and I've made it in our denim. I think it's one of the mid blue denims. We've got a great range of denims on the website. I added an exposed zip at the back, just for something, just to give it a little bit of interest, because it is so plain and simple, which is what I wanted. But I just thought that little bit of detail was a nice way to just add a little bit of interest. I made a quick toile in curtain lining fabric to get the fit spot on, and I was really pleased with the fit overall. And yeah, I've worn this so much since making it. I really love it, and in fact I've actually made another version which I'll show you in a minute. So that is Simplicity 1370 in our denim. And then the next thing that I made is this blouse, which I absolutely love. So this is Simplicity 8454 in our dark floral cotton lawn fabric, and it's just such a fun, girly, lovely pattern. I was really pleased with this, and this was a real sort of turning point for me, because I've had a lot of fit issues with my back and my shoulders because I've got a high round back. I was sort of put off trying to make anything really with sleeves in a woven fabric because I just knew I'd have trouble getting it to fit me properly. But as I've gained confidence throughout the year with fitting, I decided to have a go at this, and I made my high round back adjustment, which I'm getting used to making all the time now, and I'm really pleased that I did, because I'm really chuffed with the fit. I just think it's so fun and so girly, and you know, if you wear it with something really simple like this denim skirt and black tights and boots to sort of balance out the frilly femininity, I think it works really well. So I'll just show you it untucked as well. There were actually ruffles under the sleeve as well on this pattern, but I decided to omit those because I just felt a bit like one of those dinosaurs or lizards or whatever they are with the spiky things underneath. I just felt it was just a bit too much for me, but I kept all of the other ruffles because I just think they're so pretty. It came together really well. It was a really easy pattern to follow. I thought some of this detail might be a bit complicated, and having like a yoke on the sleeves as well, but it was dead simple and dead easy to make, so highly recommend both of those patterns. So just the last few makes to share with you now. I made another Simplicity 1370 skirt, so that's the denim skirt I just talked about. I've made another one of those because I absolutely love that pattern and just think it's fantastic for a simple everyday skirt, and I basically wanted to just live in that denim skirt, so I thought I better make another one. And then also I've got a huge amount of love for the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top, which I'm wearing, and I've made 3 versions of that this year, and I also made one last year as well. So it's definitely, these two are definitely tried and tested patterns for me that I absolutely love. So starting off with the skirt, it's 1370 Simplicity, and I made it in our black scuba with the exposed zip at the back again. So I chose the silver teeth on this one this time. Really chuffed with this skirt. I made it slightly shorter because I just felt like I might feel a bit too sort of dowdy, or like I was going to work or something if it was too long in the plain black. But the scuba was just absolutely fantastic. I've really enjoyed working with scuba the few times that I've done it. Angela suggested this, and I kind of never would have thought of making an everyday skirt in scuba, but I'm really glad I did, because it's warm, it's soft, it's comfortable, it's really comfortable. So yeah, highly recommend that. I did have to size down because it's a pattern for woven fabrics, so I did size down quite considerably, but again, really pleased with the fit on this one, and just know I'm just going to be living in this. When I'm not in the denim skirt, I'll be in the scuba skirt. And then the Tilly top, this is our animal or leopard print black and red jersey fabric, which is really lovely and soft, really nice to work with, and I just love this pattern because it's so easy to just chuck on. It's nice and comfortable, it's warm, you can layer it up with cardigans and all the rest of it in the winter. It's great all year round, to be honest. So I made this one yesterday, and I also made this one yesterday. So I sort of did a bit of a conveyor belt effort and made them both at the same time, got the overlocker out with the same thread on it, and it worked really well actually. I had 2 new tops at the end of the day, which was great. And I also made this one, which is on the blog, but sadly this beautiful knit fabric has sold out now, I believe. I mean, it's always worth checking because sometimes we do get them back in stock. But yeah, I can't recommend the Simplicity 1370 and the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top highly enough. So all in all, what I've learnt this year, I've definitely focused a lot on fit, and I've worked really, really hard to get the fit right, and I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence in that area now, and just learnt that, you know, there's no hard and fast rules. You know, there definitely are guidelines out there to follow, but you do have to be prepared to tweak things because ultimately we're all totally different. And I've actually got to the point now where I really enjoy making those fitting adjustments, and I just think it's so worth spending the time doing that. And then the other thing that I've learned is I've definitely made things that I'm wearing like all the time. I'm always reaching for the handmade items in my wardrobe now. I'd much rather wear those than anything I've got that's shop bought, and I just think that's down to pairing the patterns and the fabrics well, and also, you know, looking at the gaps in my wardrobe and deciding what I need to fill it with. And then also just down to the fantastic range of fabrics we've got on the website now. You know, we've really broadened the scope and the variety of fabrics on our website in the last year, and there are just some amazing choices out there. I'll never get through all of the ones that I want to work with, which is a lovely feeling to have. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my whistle-stop tour of all the things that I've made in my second year of dressmaking. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe. The links to our website and blog are below, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next time.